Hello and welcome back to another edition of cedh bling builds. Today we'll feature Prosper the Tomebound, which is Rakdos legend that really badly wants to impulsively draw, which is supposed to be exclusively red mechanic, where you exile a top card, and then to the end of the turn you could play that card, which is a bad name in my opinion because only scrubs would wanna impulsively draw, right? That's like a scrub thing to do, to just like rip a card from the top and play it because, you know. So I really don't like the name impulsive draw because you really should be sitting and babysitting cards until it's the right time to play it. How many times in your pods have you seen like a scrub rip from the top of their deck and play like a reclamation sage with not even looking at the board state, uh, and it hits the board and it pops nothing. So I'm not a fan of that name, impulsive draw. But I digress. So Prosper Tomebound is jam packed with a bunch of cards like that, whether it's playing from exile your opponent's cards or your own cards. If Prosper's on board, you're going to go plus by gaining a treasure. So he has a lot of the usual suspects when it comes to card selection, and then some other like weird narrow cards. Two notable exclusions are Grenzo, the Havoc Razor, right? The double red, who either when him or one of your dudes connects, target creature goads, or until the end of the turn you exile top card of a target library, and you can play those cards. And then another card that's missing is a brand new. It's a Predator's Hour from the Vow structure deck, which I like a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's one of the strongest cards in that set, quote, set, where it has a Grenzo type of effect, but a little bit better. So your board, your dudes gain menace, right? It's a one and a black, sorcery speed, and your boys they gain menace, sure, whatever. But when they connect, you exile top card, and then it remains exiled face down, right, of a target of that player's library, and you could play it like whenever. So it's way stronger than Grenzo. Now, those cards are on the way. I just haven't put out a video in a long time, and since Prosper's what I'm going to be running like over the weekend, yeah, I'll feature it. So those two cards are on their way. So I guess when I find the card that's like its substitute in the meantime, because I'm not a fan of like proxying when I play in real life. So uh, I'll point out the cards that would be like the Grenzo, and the card that would be a Predator Hour, real Predators Hours. Okay. So let's start things off. We have a Prosper the Tomebound, the ugly chrome treatment, which is the thick boy card stock. So you might come across the opponent who's not a fan uh, uh, question the legality of thick boy card stock. So of course we're just gonna flip it over, and we have the regular non-foil extended card art, whatever. It's not a big deal. Now Prosper has a really horrendous Doomsday line, which is one of the reasons why I put Prosper together. I just wanted to dust off my Doomsday. I haven't played Doomsday in about 700 years, so I want to dust it off and give it a spin. Right, take the old girl out for a spin. So we have this horrible Prosper line, a Doomsday line in this Prosper deck, and we'll go over it now. Now, granted, in this deck there are other Prosper line Doomsday piles, but my brain's a little too smooth to think of what it could be. I let the internet do the legwork, and I'll just copy and paste. You know how it goes. So we have Doomsday, which will find you the Final Fortune. The Prosper will exile the Final Fortune, right? Because you own your turn. You play the Final Fortune. Taking your extra turn, you'll hit a Jessica's Will, Twin Flame, a Dualcaster Mage, and then the fifth card could be whatever, a Booger Sandwich. So the idea is to just Twin Flame Dualcaster Mage. You know that trick, right? Infinite Dualcasters, swing for game. Horrible, horrible Doomsday pile. Low key, maybe not even worth the legwork, right? To try to immediately find your Doomsday. Because I think if one of these things gets stuck in your hand, it's like, ugh. I mean, the Jessica's Will you could play, and I guess you could just Twin Flame whoever, and then you have to put in work to try to get the Dualcaster into the graveyard. So, not a good Doomsday pile. Let's continue. You have Dockside, of course, because Dockside makes treasure, and Prosper makes treasure, right? It's on theme. Just kidding. There are a couple of Dockside exploits we could do in this deck. For instance, we could Dockside Cloudstone. So if you have a teeny tiny baby on board, or any creature that will help you to go plus with your treasure, you just play the Dockside, bounce the baby, play the baby, bounce the Dockside, trying to net a treasure. And so one nice baby would be a Skirt Prospector. One, because you could sack a goblin to generate your to float a red, which is nice, right? So let's go a little bit deeper. We have Corpse Dance, right, which is really nice. I'm just kidding. It's not really nice. It's okay. Loopty scoopty whoops. So you can Corpse Dance with the buyback, considering that you could produce these treasures +1, right? So you'll sack the Dockside, right? And then you Corpse Dance with buyback it back to the board, make your treasure, and then bada bing, bada boom. Citrus Supplier is a nice, another nice baby to loopty scoop with your Dockside, right? So Dockside, Citrus Supplier, Cloudstone, bounce it. So just really just to mill your entire library. And then with all that treasure, and with a Mayhem Devil in the grave, you could, either you have infinite treasure, you could recoup or Mizzix's Mastery. We'll get into that later. Reanimate a Mayhem Devil, and sack all those treasure to pew 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 the board. Of course, Mayhem Devil. Well, let's keep these arguments in mind. I'll make the argument that Dockside is a bad card against Scrubs, because you're only going to go even with your Dockside by turn 8. And same thing with Mayhem Devil. Mayhem Devil is a really bad card against Scrubs, because Scrubs don't run Dorks, right? And they don't run Fetch Lands. It's amazing when a Mayhem Devil could go plus by your opponent fetching, and then you then ping another opponent's Dork, right? That's the dream. But Scrubs don't really run Dorks. They run Cultivate and Kodama's Reach and Farseek and stuff like that. Let's be real. Let's be real. Don't kid yourself. Okay. We have some other cute things we could do with a Goblin Engineer. Some targets would be to find the Cloudstone Curio, right? And then Magda wants to with a lot of treasure, right? Magda swings. It's not a dwarf tribal deck, but Magda swings, you get to treasure, other things get treasures, Prosper gets treasure. With those 5 treasure, you want to special summon from the deck a Bolas' Citadel. Bolas' Citadel is in here because, with Sensei's top, it's kind of like a convoluted, more moving parts ad nauseum. You could add a Aetherflux Reservoir in here to end the game, but and I guess you could also, I guess if you're in an Underworld Reach combo, right, with Grindstone, no, with the Bolas' Citadel, and you have Infinite Treasure, I guess you can start sacking your Infinite Treasure and the Citadel to start hitting your opponents, right? Which is a loop you would have to do 4 times, right? 5 times if they're running like a life gain deck for no reason. And then of course we have the Underworld Breach and LED in here because it's like just disgusting, really, really disgusting. And the grinding station, just the rule. You sack your mana positive rocks to grinding station just to help fuel your graveyard. It's not about milling your opponents. Let's get out of here. And then finally we have the Tainted Pact Thassa's Oracle combo, right? Just kidding. We have Tainted Pact Praetor's Grasp, right? To maybe target your opponent's Thassa's Oracle and win through that. And of course, since the Tainted Pact is in the deck, we gotta accommodate Tainted Pact with. We have to make a mana base that accommodates the Tainted Pact. And then we go into cards that just nice synergies with a Prosper. We have Uba Mask, which is a fantastic card, right? In Prosper, it could be a really good card in like a blue-white X deck that's heavy on artifacts. Blue-white because you have the Dryneth Magistrate, Uba Mask Lock. Blue so you could just transmute artifact into this and find it really quick. If you're gonna have an anime fantasy of drawing into this, then I don't know what to tell you. A Commune with Lava. This card could be a substitute for Real Predator's Hours or Grenzo, but I really like this card because a couple of reasons. It's an instant speed. It's something to do with my treasure, and it's until the end of the next turn. A lot of these cards are like until the end of that turn, and what I find happens a lot of the time is you'll spend your mana to do something that turn, and then you're swinging, and then you're like exiling top of the card, top of the deck, but like you don't have the mana to play the card. It's like it gets lost in the exile pile. So that's one reason why I really kind of like Commune with Lava, for that one reason, for those two reasons, into speed and into the end of the next turn. We have Berkey, but of course we don't. Berkey's front side in this deck is nice, right? I'm not trying to storm off. It's like more slow play. What we really do care about is Berkey's backside, Hornfell. Discard a card, exile top 2, and then you play those cards this turn. You're flooded with a treasure. You're going to get a ton of value out of Hornfell. And notice the Hornfell is not a tap to activate ability. We have a Loki, right? Let's be real. It's Loki. Both sides of Valky are really strong. Have nice synergies in this deck. So we have Valky on the front and Tybalt Cosmic Imposter on the back. Now it's nice that they accidentally printed it in this order, because if this was the front, then this card would not see, it would see 0 play in competitive, because that 7 is really a lot to slot into your deck in Adnaw's builds. Even though PETA makes the cut, I know, but the more you add to this with Adnaw's, the harder it becomes. Anyway, yeah, so Tybalt has really nice synergies in this deck as well, of course. We have a Dauthi Voidwalker. The way I feel about this card in general is it's more strong in like a Grixis deck because you have a Windfall and then your other wheels. And then there's like a Dimir Windfall, right? The Cypher one. But I guess you could pull it off in this deck and go plus with the treasure. Again, maybe this is another card that is bad against casuals because casuals play a lot of permanents. They never have anything going to the graveyard. Opposition Agent, it's a slow card. I never had the time to foil it out. It's slow. Maybe one day. Oh yeah, spoiler, there's a not as blinged out of a build as this could be. My heart's not there. My heart's not in it with Rakdos. So a lot of the Rakdos staples are not shiny. Oh, Florian, Flow Rider. So I mentioned this in my Najila build. And by the way, Flow Rider is ridiculous. When you swing it with your dudes and you're connecting, Florian becomes a soft dig through time. Okay, and again, you'll find more about it. You'll learn more about it when you're facing these whack vampire tribal builds at your locals. The flavor of the month. But Florian is really, really good. So Prosper, in a weird way, becomes like a mid-range Nagila deck, right? Hear me out. When I add the Grenzo, when I add Florian, when I add a real Predator's Hour, like what happens is these cards are great in Nagila because you're swinging with like so many dudes. So many dudes are connecting, and you get so much value. And those same cards are in here, but these cards want to act in the same regard, but they don't. Like I'm not swinging with a million dudes. I'm swinging with like Florian on his own. I'm swinging with Grenzo on his own. I'm swinging with like maybe 2-3 cards of real Predators, Hours. So we'll see. Lelia, La La Land, huh? The Blade Reforged is another card. It just has some synergies. Maybe this will be Grenzo when I get it in the mail. I haven't even tried this one either in Nagila, and it's Warrior and it's nice, but I don't know. Of course, a Ragavan. Triangle's Channeler is a really good card. Really good card. I don't mind. A lot of people, I feel like this whole video I'm dunking on casuals. A lot of casuals like run like Reliquary Tower in their deck. For what? I don't know. They're really heavy with their like pips, so they can't afford to like run colorless mana, right? But they do, and it's because they want to keep their hand of, I don't know, 27 drops. And what I like about Dragon's Rage is it's like this whole idea that the graveyard, guys, listen, the graveyard is an extension of your hand, right? So why hold on to like a 8-drop when you could just, instead of hard casting it, you could just reanimate it, right? So I don't want to fill up my graveyard. It's fine. Moving on to our rituals, we have a Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Rain of Filth, Rain of Flame. Don't forget the Jessica's Will is part of combo, so I've showed that already. And then a Simian Spirit Guide. Oh, and the Script Prospector is part of a combo, so we showed that already. And no Call in the Week, right? The creatures in this deck that I would, creatures in other decks that I would call, like hit the board, do their job, or I just have way too many creatures, right? So it'll be like a dork or something weird like that. But the creatures in this deck, I need them to be on board. So no Calling of the Week. Tutor package. We have Gamble, Vampiric Tutor, Imperial Seal, Demonic Tutor, Grim Tutor, Witchclaw's Talisman. Some soft tutors. We have Intune, Reanimate, Recoup, Mystic's Mastery. And then our counter package, we have Deflecting Swat, Tybalt's Trickery, Red Elemental Blast, and Pyro Blast. And then our really, really terrible removal package, we have Feed the Swarm at Snorsery Speed, a Braid. You find some prisoners, which pops artifacts, which is great. But then it also has like the second ability where I could have nice synergies with Prosper. Our draw package, we have a Faithless Looting, Wheel of Misfortune, Wheel of Fortune, Peer into the Abyss, and an Ad Nauseam for value, really. A Necropotence is good too, because I can land a Necropotence in this deck no problem. And then just keep my hand full is a nice, very, very nice. On rocks, we have Lotus Petal, Jeweled Lotus, Recto Signet, Paper, Talisman of Indulgence, a Fellwar Stone, which with my luck it won't put in any work in my pods. Arcane Signet, Chrome Mox, Mox Opal, and a Mox Diamond. Our colorless, we have a Grand Monolith, Mana Vault, Mana Crypt, and a Soul Ring. And then finally, moving on to our lands, we have our 7 fetches. We have 1 swamp, 1 snow swamp, 1 mountain, 1 snow mountain, of course, just to accommodate our Tainted Pact mana base. We have a Blood Crypt, Badlands or other duels. We have a Luxury Suite, Paper Springs, Paper Blightstep. To be real, to be honest with you, I once upon a time had a foil Sulphur Spring. That was a very long time ago when the meta was totally different and we didn't have as many dual lands. But the more, like, I'm all about blue-black X, the more blue-black dual lands came out, the worse Sulphur Spring came for me. Underworld Breach wasn't a thing. It didn't exist yet, and even though Ad Nauseam was in the game, people weren't abusing it the way they are now. So, emphasis on black red in your blue black or whatever X decks wasn't as important, and so I had it, but not anymore. Our mana abundant lands, we have an Ancient Tomb, City of Traders, just to hurry up and get Prosper on board as soon as possible. And then Phyrexian Tower. I made the argument of Call in the Week, but this is not a Call in the Week, right? Because it can still produce colorless. And then our Rainbow lands, we have a Gemstone Cavern, Command Tower, Gemstone Mine, Spire of Industry. There are enough artifacts. Even if there weren't, it's a treasure engine. Mana Confluence, Forbidden Orchard, Exotic Orchard, which will bite me in the ass, right? I'm going to play against people that are like not in black or not in red in 4-man pods. Tarnished Citadel, and a City of Brass. And there you have it. There you have your boy Prosper in 2021. Maybe I update the video, or maybe in the description I'll just update in the notes, like how it works with Grenzo and Predator's Hour. So yeah, there's a deck. Thank you very much. Sorry it took so long to upload. I like doing construction around my apartment. There's like 3 different construction projects going on. That it's wild, and so it's very noisy. I don't have like super amazing studio. I'm just some guy. Anyway, thanks. Leave a comment for what you want to see next.